with no cap and gown. With a roller, what happened now? Metal throne, concrete crown. Call that line, you getting beat. Real, what veteran? What academy? Still remember me when they were sick and needed their medicine. Better watch it, partner, you ain't from around here. Thinking sweet, you got the wrong idea. Get left out there, tell them so what? I kept trap music, all black. Still, I'm that stupid. Still down to do it if you act stupid. Get locked up and get back to it, yeah. Trap music, all black. Get locked up and get back to it, yeah.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Look at like a money back. Money back.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do. Battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go to wrap up a busy weekend of football. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
I think when you watch him play, because you've heard all the different buzzwords about him being a warrior and what a battler he is, go back to the Rose Bowl game against Georgia, his last year at Oklahoma. They got beat in, double overtime, a thriller. But he played despite the flu and still put up big-time numbers and almost rallied his team to a victory.
Yeah, big-time numbers. Also had a receiving touchdown in that game as well. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Well, one. One unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that from behind the line of scrimmage.
second down, Michelle. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Mayfield, and that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. This is taken at about the 14. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
I love how he exploded on the national scene his redshirt freshman year when at the beginning of the season he was not named the starting quarterback. But when USC was struggling, he got an opportunity. And by the end of the year, the Rose Bowl MVP, an epic shootout with Penn State, and put him on the NFL radar in a big way.
Now Darnold, and this is Cook with a grab. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Yeah, they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, who you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Darnold. And complete, right side to Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Darnold from the gun. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Open receiver, that's David Njoku. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. A give. This is Michel. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Set. 3-19. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good-headed scheme going.
The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use...
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Darnold. And he rifles one incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Darnold. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran now a nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for. Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick. I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39, green.
Now a first down carry, it's Michel. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Mayfield now on 2nd down to Michel on the screen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Oh, you're crediting your defense. Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen. And they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Green, 39.
Mayfield to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete. And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown. I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it. A first down throw, Darnold. He'll find Taylor, that's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 more yards there and another first down. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on second down is Darnold. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a third down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. The Niners on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. On 1st and 10, Darnold. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Again, Darnold. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down. And
so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. First down throw for Mayfield. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They begin with Michel on the ground. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. So we've hit halftime. Just a few. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3, and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Set! 319! 319!
On the handoff, it's Michel. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Again, it's Michel. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Cardinals on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Back to throw, Darnold. And brought in by the tight end, Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Over the middle to Evans. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They'll go with a keeper. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Again, this is Montgomery. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tim Williams makes the tackle.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, They're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed it.
Super toe.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a give to Yeldon. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking.
Back now here in Santa Clara. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Darnold from the gun. And Jones has it over the middle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Darnold now to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it first and goal.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Royce Freeman taking it in. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
Let's go! Blue, line it!
On second down, Mayfield again. To Michelle on the dump off. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. He's got the first down and more past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. That good for 19 and a first down.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. First down, Mayfield. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And that'll bring up second down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
A second down throw for Mayfield. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On third down, Mayfield. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Two first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Here we go. 3-19.
And again, it's Mayfield. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. He'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The Niners on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. It's a quarterback sneak. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Freeman, and he'll get this one up to about his 14. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it, because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80